Now, these are the characteristics of big, massive earners. Why do I know this? Because I've been studying folks like this for 10 years with the goal of becoming one of them, and I have. But I'm a student. Like I said, I've been studying these people, and I'm talking, guys, no kidding. I would travel from city to city to see these folks. I would infiltrate meetings from every company I could get into. If I could find out that there was a meeting, I made friends with people at the major hotels locally to find out any MLM meeting that was going on. I go down because I was looking for people of influence to listen to. At my own company that I grew up in, I'd go to 3 Super Saturdays a month sometimes, 2 or 3, depending on who was speaking, because I wanted to see these guys and girls, masters. But this is the other thing that I noticed. I am a student of common denominators. What does that mean? I'm looking for the commonality between everybody that's done what I wanted to do. I encourage you to write that down. Become a student of common denominators. If you hear a whole bunch of people that you respect refer to a particular book, like in this industry, somebody might say, read the book, The Greatest Networker in the World by my good friend John Fogg. If you hear one leader say that, you think, whatever, great. You might even jot it down. When you hear the second one say it, you got to take note. By the time you heard the third or the fourth big leader that's doing what you want to do say the name of a book, you got to run to Barnes & Noble, slap down your $12 and buy the book, because there's a common denominator. All these people referring to one book, it tells you there's something there. Well, here's what I noticed, gang, and here's what I want you to notice, and we'll get into the meat of the call. I just told you that the characteristics of today's, not the past, today's top earners is that they're masters of mass prospecting, masters of mass psychology, masters of copywriting, masters of list building, and masters of their self-image. But what we forget, see, so many of us are wandering around the internet looking for answers, and we see all this sexy stuff. If you went and investigated me today, you'd say, well, she does video. I got to do video. Mike Dillard does video. Danny Johnson does video. You know, all these people do video. I got to do video, because you're looking at the common denominator of somebody who spent 10 years in the industry. But if you have not had the success that you want yet, isn't it important that you find the common denominator of what the people that are doing what you want to do did, past tense, did to make their first $1,000, $2,000, $3,000? Here's the common denominators, and we have some heavy earners on the phone tonight. I can see the caller ID. I can see a bunch of people that are here. There's people that fit the category of earning $25,000 a month and more. There's people on the line that have gone to the top of their pay plans on the phone tonight, and I thank you guys for being here. And I'd love if any of you guys want to say a few words at the end, or anybody wants to concur. If you want to disagree, I wish you'd call me tomorrow. But if any of you guys want to concur, here's the common denominator among what they did, what people did, and what you need to do. You see, guys, what came first was their ability to prospect one guy. See, they had to have the ability to prospect one guy, then 2 guys, then 3 guys, before they could become a master of mass prospecting. See, that's the way it works. You have to be able to prospect and recruit 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 people before you can do the fantasy, I'm going to do a conference call and I'm going to recruit 50. Because you can't skip. They had to have the ability. See, remember I said the big earners, they're masters of mass psychology, and they're able to influence hundreds and thousands of people with one call, one audio, one letter. But first came the person learning how to influence one prospect. One prospect. And I know nobody wants to hear this because everybody wants to go to, I send out a press release and everybody signs up, or everybody goes to, I do this or that, or, I make a video and everybody signs up. The next one, I said that the skill is copywriting for the big earners. But they had to first learn how to write one letter, one email, one postcard to one person. See, Danny Johnson had to do that. Mike Dillard had to do that. Diane Hockman had to do that. Joe Schroeder had to do that. I could run through, 4 million networkers, famous networkers. I could run through all the people, and every single one of them had to do this first. Talked about big guys have databases and lists. Big people have lists of thousands of people. I wrote an email the other day about, would you like to send one email and make $1,000? We can do that. We can make $10,000, $20,000, some of us. But you have to have the ability to form a list of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people and learn how to communicate with that list. You can't go from 10 to 10,000. And then the last thing is the self-image. And this one I discuss constantly, and that's not tonight's topic. But if you don't have the self-image to present to one person, if you don't have the self-image to be able to learn your company's presentation and sit down and do it with one guy in a coffee shop or one prospect, one lead on the phone, you can't jump to I'm going to do a video and have the self-image to influence thousands. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So everybody, I don't mean some of them, remember, common denominator, everybody that's ever gone the distance had to go through these stages. In fact, many of the biggest people, and I have shelves full of them, many of the biggest people have written books on these basics. And yet somehow today there's websites and all kinds of stuff, people bashing what they call old school and bashing learning these skills. And it makes me giggle because I look around and it seems like everybody that's bashing it isn't making any money. You can't ignore that a football player has to learn how to throw the ball and catch the ball before they go to the NFL. You can't deny that a little ballerina in second grade has to learn how to stand on her toe shoes before she goes to the Bolshoi Ballet. You can't deny that a little league player, I live right down the street from the Northern Regional Little League Center, man. I know a lot about, the Little League stuff. They got to learn how to throw the ball and catch the ball and play t-ball before they go to Major League Baseball. And yet in this industry, for some bizarre reason, people think they can skip this. And I want to ask you guys, and this is what I want to talk to you about tonight. At what cost do you think, at what cost are you willing to deny the facts? At what cost?